How's it going, sports card fans, wrestling collectors? Tom here from CollectAWrestlePalooza. If you watch this channel, you know that I am on the search for the crazy Ultimate Warrior card, the one that's depicted on the front of this Merlin Gold pack. These packs are pretty rare. They're from the 1992 Merlin Gold series, called Gold because it's the shiny gold foil, and the cards themselves do have a black border with the fluorescence. They're very 1990s. They're from my favorite era of professional wrestling, when professional wrestling was not as big as it is today. It was after the golden era of the 80s and before the Attitude Era, and this is when the Ultimate Warrior ruled, and we want to get the Crazy Warrior card. I've got my good luck charms here. I've got Ultimate Warrior, a quick battle royale with these three from my Fig Fed. These are the same ones I had as a child. We're going to have some fun, and then we're going to open up the pack and we're going to find the Crazy Warrior.
CollectAWrestlePalooza, CollectAWrestlePalooza.
So as I mentioned, these are three figures I had since I was a kid. I had the Hasbro ring. I've got the ring down in the basement somewhere. I took the ropes and the turnbuckles off, and I'm keeping it all nice. But I do have the figures up in my display case. They're in pretty good condition. The Hacksaw in particular is in good condition here. These Hasbros don't really lose paint all that often. They're pretty durable. They were made to be played with more than the LJNs, which were made from rubber and wore pretty quickly. So you can see there is some wear on the top of this Warrior in the hair, but pretty much it's in good shape. A little bit on the tips of his toes, that sort of thing, but I think he's from Series 1. There was another Warrior where his legs were separated. This one I always thought looked kind of shrimpy and weird, and the reason for that is because his action, he could do a some sort of a leap or something where you'd go like this and he'd leap forward. I'll show you right now. So here's what's happening. Akeem and Hacksaw have come in. Hey, Warrior, we're gonna get you. Okay, so Warrior's gonna come in. He's gonna do his action. Oh, that didn't work very well. I'm nervous about hitting the cards, but I'm gonna go for it here. Oh, slam action. Hacksaw is pissed. He's got his 2x4. Oh, yeah, I can do that, actually. Oh, we got an earthquake here. Boom. Wait. Oh. Ah! Warrior. Oh, that makes me nervous. I gotta stop here. I gotta do one Akeem splash because they gotta... Okay, the Warrior. Oh, no. We're gonna get you. Oh, God, the Warrior. And then the Warrior comes back and, he's shaking the ropes. And look at what he did to Akeem. Boom! Warrior splash. Boom! Warrior splash. Okay. That's my good luck. That's enough for today of this. I'm a 47-year-old man and I'm playing with my toys from when I was a kid. That's what CollectAWrestlePalooza is all about. So why do I do this channel? I do this channel because I want to inspire you to collect yourself and to have some fun, you know? It was a better time in my life, I guess, you know, or at least a more carefree time when I was a kid and playing with toys and watching professional wrestling on Saturdays and going bowling with my dad. And if you're in your 40s and life is hard, you know that sometimes you need a break from things like that. So that's what CollectAWrestlePalooza is all about, is to inspire you to do the same. I try to look at it as an investment, or I have my store, my eBay store and all that, but ultimately this is just about, you know, having some fun. So if you're having fun, if this inspires you to start collecting and get the itch, I've done my job here on this channel. But today, we're opening this up and we're finding the Crazy Warrior. Just so you know, some other hits in this pack. Ric Flair has, I call it the Director Chair Flair card. If you've seen previous openings, the first one I opened had a Director Chair Flair card. Apparently it's Ric Flair's first WWF cardboard from 1992. And then all of the Undertaker cards are pretty big hits as well. 1991 would be his rookie card from the Merlins, which was the smaller card. This is the first one in the Merlins that is bigger, and this set is, you know, normal trading card size, and this set is much rarer than the 1991, I believe. So these Undertaker cards are also sought after, but let's get to it. Let's open this up. Let's see what I got. I'll put them all in the top holders, and hopefully we will get a Crazy Warrior. Just to remind you as well, the reason I'm looking for the Crazy Warrior is that was a fan suggestion. So thank you for that suggestion. After I get my Crazy Warrior, if I get a Crazy Warrior, these packs are actually pretty hard to find and source, then I will move on to another chase and rip some more wax. So start thinking about other things you want me to chase, because I will definitely get the Warrior today because I did my match and that was really good luck. You guys all saw Warrior 1. He did his Warrior splash on Akeem. So this is the day. This is the day we're getting the Crazy Warrior. Let's do it. Okay, so I've got the edge ripped off. I'm going to start revealing the cards. They're coming out pretty easy here, which is good. Sometimes they get kind of caught on the side, and these cards are very condition sensitive with chipping. You can actually see right there some of the black exposes the white underneath. So 7s, 8s, and 9s on these cards are very, very good grades, and 10s are unheard of. I'm going to go back to front, I guess, since that's the way it is in the pack here, and you can see already that the centering has also been an issue on these. So if they're nicely centered and the chipping is at a minimum, there are going to be good cards no matter who is depicted. We're starting with the Nasty Boys. Who is that? That is Nasty Boy Knobs. I'm going to read the back on these two this time. It says, Nasty Boy Knobs looks nasty. Man, they must have hired some real professional Harvard grads to write that. That's an eloquent sentence. He wrestles nasty. He even smells nasty. However, that's fine with him. He, like partner Sags and manager Jimmy Mouth of the South Hart, says you can never be too nasty in the WWF. I actually like that, having that nasty, nasty, nasty on the side there. And look at him with his shades. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look at him. He's got his mullet. He looks like a cross between Arnold Schwarzenegger and John Daly. That's the first two things that came into mind. What do you think, viewers? Did I get it right? All right. Well, let's look at the front of the card. Let's see what we got here. That is Nasty Boy Knobs doing a slam. And we've got card number 2. We've got Shawn Michaels. Looks to be pretty well centered. Sexy boy, Shawn Michaels. Is that what they called him? Let's see what it says on the back. It says, many WWF followers call Shawn Michaels and his manager Sensational Sherry. I didn't know that he was managed by Sensational Sherry at one point. I guess now that they mention it, I kind of remember that. And I love, going through these old cards and reading the back, because you do learn things like that. It's a trip down memory lane in addition to the value and nostalgia of collecting here. So he was managed by Sensational Sherry. That's Sherry Martel, who was also Queen Sherry and managed Macho King, for folks that don't remember. Very, very legendary talent in her own right. And it says here that WWF followers called Shawn Michaels and his manager Sensational Sherry the Deadly Duo. They can be lethal. For example, when Shawn is in the ring, Sherry distracts his opponent so he can get away with... No way! That's a little extreme there. I don't think that actually happened in the ring, but this is Shawn Michaels. Look at him. He's got his glove. He's got his knuckles exposed. It looks like he's smelling something that, might be wafting his way. And his expression there. And his sunglasses look a little too small for his head. George Michael style cross, earring. This is classic 1990s Shawn Michael. Let's take a look at the front here. Should say Shawn Michaels. George Michael, Shawn Michaels. That's a good looking card, but the centering is off, as you can see. That's pretty normal from what I've seen on these. All right, we have here the British Bulldog. Britain's most revered superstar, the British Bulldog, has his paws full with Repo Man, so he was feuding with Repo Man at this point. The Bulldog says he will sink his teeth into the car repossessor. The Repo Man in the near future. So I'm learning that he feuded with Repo Man and that Repo Man was repossessing cars. That makes sense. He had his hook. He probably put it around the chrome bumper and he would drag the cars down the street with his big trench coat and go, hee, I'm the Repo Man. That's what he did in his free time. I bet he did it for free pro bono because he just loved repossessing cars. This is the British Bulldog. Look at that insignia of the British Bulldog too, that logo with Matilda in the middle. That's pretty sharp. And Davey Boy Smith, he's got his braids, he's got his big smiles. Folks remember when he came back, he wasn't that big when he was part of the British Bulldogs, and then he came back and he was huge. And as a kid, you're like, how did he get so big? He must have been working out. He must have some really good techniques in his barbells and powerlifting. And of course, children aren't aware of the powers of what they were doing to their bodies and juicing and all that stuff. But let's see the front of this card. I'm going to call this a hit if it's the same as the one on the front of the pack, just because, you know, that picture on the pack, just because I think that's pretty cool to have the pack front card. But let's see what the picture is on the front of this. It is indeed, well, not exactly, but pretty close. It does have a print dot there, but that's a good looking portrait card of the British Bulldog fans. What do you think? Pretty good. Centering's not too bad. That's a hit for sure. Oh, Papa Shango, Papa Shango, Papa Shango. I love Papa Shango. When I was a kid, he was my favorite wrestler. This is the biggest hit. I'm so happy to get a Papa Shango card here. Let's read it. Papa Shango is a fearsome physical force. He batters opponents with headbutts off the ropes and big boots to the face. When Shango feels his victim has adequately suffered, he sacrifices the contestant to the gods. Oh my God, these are gnarly, all of these descriptions here. Holy moly. He hoists up the wrestler and then blasts him with a painful shoulder breaker. Another thing I forgot, I couldn't remember that Papa Shango's finishing move was the shoulder breaker. But look at him there. Papa Shango, Papa Shango. And Papa Shango feuded with the Ultimate Warrior. You remember that. He cast spells on him and Warrior was spewing some black stuff and he had to, you know, the curse, and he needed to get away from the curse, but you can't get away from the curse because the curse is inside of you. Papa Shango. All right, let's see the front of this card. And I'm hoping that because there's a Shango in this pack, that means there's a Warrior too, because those two did feud. The front of the Shango card is... oh, look at that card. Centering's not terrific, as I've said many, many times before, but still, that's a really cool card. Oh my God! Oh my God! Look at this! The crazy Ultimate Warrior! Boing, 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 boing! Alright, I want to see if it's just on the back here or if the front of the card has the crazy Ultimate Warrior as well. But first, let's read it. Now look at that face! I mean, come on! Look at the crazy Ultimate Warrior face. I mean, could you have picked a more extreme picture of the Warrior? He looks like he's... you know what it looks like? It looks like he went to the dentist and they said, okay, smile so we can take a picture and document your teeth for next time. I mean, doesn't that look like that? It doesn't even look like he's scary. He just looks like he's got a big old smile. All right, let's read it here. First of all, he's from parts unknown. He's 6'4", 275. Titles held, WWF title and Intercontinental title on 2 occasions. The Ultimate Warrior made an ultimate return to the World Wrestling Federation at WrestleMania 8. Since then, the Warrior has been engulfed in a deadly battle with Papa Shango. The Warrior has promised his many warriors that he will demolish Shango in the near future. I'm hopeful that the front is also the Crazy Warrior picture. It is! Look at that, I got the Crazy Warrior! Prophecy fulfilled. We have Papa Shango and the Crazy Warrior. This is the pack. I didn't think it would come that quickly. Man, pack number 3, I got my hit. Let's take a look at the other cards here just for getting through the pack. We've got Hacksaw Jim Duggan, just like my good luck charm of Hacksaw there. I knew that it was going to work here. Hacksaw is a rugged wrestler. He clashes head on with his opponents and doesn't allow them a moment's respite. Jeez, I'm losing my knack here to read. I'm too excited about the Warrior. He unleashes with big roundhouse rights and lefts. He follows up with knee drops and big boots to the midsection. Then Duggan drops into a 3-point football stance, takes aim and barrels into the opponent with a thunderous clothesline to garner the win. That's right, he was an ex-professional football player, I think, right? Who was he drafted by? That's a little bit of professional wrestling trivia. Was he drafted by anyone? We got Brock Lesnar was on the Vikings. Who was Hacksaw Jim Duggan a part of? And also, who was The Rock a part of? I don't think he ever made it to the professionals, but wasn't he a Hurricane? Miami Hurricanes in the college ranks. All right, well, let's see what the front of this this Duggan card looks like. Uh-oh, pretty cool. Off center, but cool shot of Hacksaw. We got another Shawn Michaels. Oh, it's got a different write-up on the back, but the same picture. Let's read it here quickly. Shawn Michaels, who's arguably the most conceited athlete ever to compete in the WWF, says he's the sexiest man alive. His manager, Sensational Sherry, would concur. She believes her man is the greatest thing since sliced bread. She worships the ground upon which he walks. Shawn can't do any wrong in her eyes. Then again, Sherry can't do any wrong in his own eyes either. Oh, that's pretty funny. The little back and forth there. They're in love, Shawn Michaels and Sensational Sherry. And the front of this one, that's a cool Shawn Michaels card. And finally, we've got High Energy here. The Rocket, Owen, Hart, and Birdman Koko Beware of High Energy have taken the WWF Tag Team division by storm. They've created some enemies. The Nasty Boys, Knobs, and Sags say they will short-circuit High Energy when they face off in the squared circle. Owen and Koko, though, aren't fretting. They say they will take the fight to their obnoxious opponents. And in all seriousness, one of the reasons I love the High Energy cards is it's just so 1990s. I mean, look at Frankie in the middle with the fluorescence, and then Owen with the green, and Koko with the orange and the checkerboards. It's like they're trying to be 1990s cool, but it's kind of 80s cool. But you know, look at that. Look at those two guys. Look at those two guys. Look at those two guys. Look at Koko Beware. That was a legitimate bad guy too. I mean, Koko Beware was a tough guy. He used to shoot on opponents, and you know, he was known as being someone you didn't want to mess with. Look at him. Look what Vince had these two do. They must have lost some bet somewhere, or Vince had, knew some dirt on them and said he would reveal the secret if they didn't go out looking like that. I can't think of any other explanation for that. What an abomination! But I love them just the same. All right, guys, what a fun pack. I'm really excited about getting my hit. Should I keep opening them? I still have 3 or 4 more packs of this style, or maybe I'll take a break and move on to the next chase. Let me know in the comments what you think I should chase next. Let me know your favorite card from this pack. Have fun, be good to each other. Happy collecting.
CollectAWrestlePalooza. CollectAWrestlePalooza.